And hello, everybody. I am Uncle Snaff, and it's a time for sadness and sorrow, as well as joyfulness and gladness and all that kind of stuff. Hey, what do we got going on right now? 3DLocksport. The Tony Varelli, and I hope I'm not brutalizing his name because I'm not spectacular with names, but he owns 3DLocksport, and 3DLocksport is making, he makes all kinds of printed items, and it's 3D printing and that kind of thing, and then he creates all this kind of stuff. So everything he does is a 3D printed item. So all kinds of stuff. And I own a ton of stuff from him. I've got a number of large pick stands, I've got joiners, I've got small pick stands. I got the small turning tool thing. I just got a 3DLocksport, the educational package from him. A tray, custom-made tray. This is actually really cool because we got Uncle Snaff on here. I love it. I mean, tons of really cool stuff, and you know, all 3D printed. You know, in all essence, everything's custom done. I like his stuff. I mean, I absolutely love his stuff. One of my biggest beasts, again, I've said this a number of times, I'm a tool guy. I got tools out the wazoo. I mean, I got a tool for everything. And I'm one of those type people. I need a place to put my tools, you know. Tool holding and that kind of thing is actually a very important thing in my world. So to come across this is freaking awesome. So I have been buying a number of stands from him, and you know, if you can see my miner collection back here in the back of picks. Let me get my fingers out of the way here. There we go. But you know, I got a miner collection of picks and whatnot back here of all different types and whatnot. And so yeah, I'm just really big about everything this guy makes, and really like it. And I love his products. They're perfect. They do everything I want them to do, and it's pretty awesome. The downside is he puts out a video the other day, day before yesterday. I don't remember. I'm not real good with time. But, you know, he put out this video and basically said, hey, I'm done with 3DLocksport. I'm closing the doors and that kind of thing. Now, right off of the bat, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, man, it so sucks. And I was, like, so bummed because I was like, oh, God bless. I just found this guy. He's making really cool stuff. I want everything he's got. You know, oh, that's just so cool. And it sucks. And then he turns around and says, hey, I'm going to Covert Instruments, and I'll be working for Covert Instruments, and Covert Instruments is buying all my stuff. And I was like, well, that changes everything, because the difference from what he does, and like I said, I love what he does, but he prints everything. What that means is that he's manufacturing using a printer. Now, here's something not many people are aware of. A lot of people that see the 3D printing, oh, well, hey, that's a great method and all that. 3D printing is, in all essence, the single most inefficient way to build something you could imagine. It is crazily inefficient. It doesn't waste materials on the aspect of bulk waste. But the other end of it is that you're layering plastic, and you're layering plastic at temperature, which means I don't care what you do with this plastic. It will never be as strong as flat out molded plastic. 3D printing was never designed to be a manufacturing process. 3D printing was designed to be a design element process. It was really designed and created so you could make one-off specialty parts without having to go through massive machining operations. And that changed the world in the design world, but a lot of people saw its potential in light manufacturing, and products like this comes up. And these are awesome products. They are really strong. They're very good. They do everything wonderful. But when we talk about price point Injection molding is actually the faster, stronger, better way to manufacture plastic products, because with injection molding you can continue to do the same product over and over again at a high rate of speed, and you can control the pressure to which you are injecting the plastic, which means you control density. That's something you cannot do in 3D printing. Excuse me, here I go, a coughing fit in the middle of a video. But that is one of the problems with 3D printing. Now, if we're talking about 3D printing metal, and again, engineers are using all that stuff on a regular basis because it is a great manufacturing process for small individual items. It helps to lessen the amount of machining that needs to be done. But it is a phenomenally slow process. It's done in layers. Everything is done in layers. I wish my camera could get you, well, you might be able to see. You see these little serrations that run down here? Maybe you can see a little bit there. My fingers can feel it, but the camera might not be showing it very well. But that's a layer of something going across. It's just layer, 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 layer. And this thing goes and keeps building up the layers and building up the shape in those layers. It's still awesome. This is still wickedly strong. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that this is weak by any stretch of the imagination. But in comparison with something like HDPE plastic or high-density polyethylene or good Lord, there's so many PVCs. There's so many different types of PVEs. My brain goes numb when I think about the amount of different types of plastics there are out there. And I did special effects, mechanical special effects, and that kind of thing many years ago. And I've been into all kinds of materials, so I know materials pretty stoutly. Plastics are so plentiful in so many different shapes and ways, and what you can do in machining them and doing different types of things. I can make a ton of things out of plastic, and it'd be every bit as strong, if not stronger, than a lot of things that you can make in metal. That being said, this process was never designed to compete with stronger plastic materials. It was designed to create and test different shapes, molds, types, things, and make it so you can create something and then mass produce it from there, but not in the 3D printing model. So that's kind of the thing with it. So all that being said, what he has done, what Tony has done with all this is absolutely wonderful. He has made some incredible shapes, incredible designs. Design functions are just awesome. I mean, take a look. I mean, the picks fit perfectly in here. I don't care what you got. You're running Jimmy Longs in here. The Jimmy Longs fit in here nice and perfect. Let's say you got some law locks running here perfect. Freaking awesome. Now, am I doing a review on his stuff? No, I'm not doing a review on his stuff. He's closing the doors. There's nothing here to review. That being said, all right, Covert Instruments has bought up his company. And so Covert Instruments, I am very much hoping, is going to continue the manufacturing of these products, which means they're going to start doing, hopefully, injection molding, because they do have injection molding capabilities, or they have resources to get injection molding done. And, you know, when you put big bucks into manufacturing process, it changes a lot of things. One of the things it does is it drives your price point down. So where this unit right here is relatively expensive because it's 3D printed, in all essence it can be manufactured for a quarter, if not less than that, of the price it costs to do this in a 3D printer, which means your overall prices will drop. That's a very cool thing. So to have Covert Instruments doing that is awesome. The other thing to have Covert Instruments doing that is because it's freaking Covert Instruments, man. They are making some seriously badass stuff. I've got a ton of Covert Instruments. I've just ordered some more Covert Instruments stuff. I love Covert Instruments, all right? The only thing I don't like about Covert Instruments, I mean, is I have fat, big, giant hands, and it's difficult for me to use their picks in some instances. But honestly speaking, I can still use their picks. I love their stuff. Their stuff is absolutely next-gen badass. And so I'm constantly purchasing from them. Actually, I literally just flipped the switch on some more products, and I'm hoping for some more things to come out. All that being said, to have Covert Instruments buy this stuff up is just rockin' awesome. I absolutely love it. So, hats off to you, Tony. I can't even begin to estimate the deal that you struck with them. Must be absolutely badass. So huge congratulations to you. And I think it's just absolutely awesome. So I like everything that he was talking about. And, that's a big step. One thing I have to say, and I've run my own small business more than a few times, and I understand the early successes, I understand the hardships, I understand the failures, and I've been through all that stuff a few times and have decided that I don't want that lifestyle anymore. And so I'm very happy to not be in that lifestyle anymore, and I now work a regular day job 9 to 5 and plus some, but yeah, big differences there. So what I am saying here is that yes, he is closing the doors to some really awesome products. That doesn't mean that these products are going away. That just means that they're going to change hands, and hopefully we'll even see even more cool stuff, even better cool stuff. So we'll see which direction this goes. I'm excited. I really am excited. The other thing I really like about Covert Instruments that I have physically noticed, I have actually reached out to them a couple of times, over a couple of things that I had issues with that I wasn't really a huge fan of, and they actually responded. And I can't say that they 100% fixed it, but they gave the right answers, and badass. I can't say enough about that. I absolutely love it. So I'm going to get into a few things to do and to talk about this stuff. Now, first of all, he said he's going to be doing his site now till the end of May, so I have put in a couple more orders for some more stuff. Here's the reason why. Very simple. My desk at work, believe it or not, these make crazy cool pen holders. I hate to say that's what I'm going to use it for, but that's going on my desk, man. I am so stoked about having one of these on my desk at work. So, I know it sounds stupid, so I can hold a pen. I'm going to have a pen holder. All right, but that is going to be a pretty seriously badass pen holder, to say the least. All right. So, yes, I am actually looking forward to that, and that's going to be very cool. The other thing is I do want to continue to get a couple more for the rest of the month. The sole basis of, I know I'm going to have more tools in the future. I'm a tool collector of sorts, but I have very specific tastes as to what I want to collect and how I want to collect it. So I have more Law Locks that I want to get. I have more Jimmy Longs that I want to get. I've bought almost everything that Bare Bones makes. I love Bare Bones. I just bought the Explorer set from Moki, so I'm excited about getting the Explorer set from Moki, and I have more Moki stuff that I want to get. So there's a ton of manufacturers I still want to get stuff because I'm collecting. The other thing is what can you use all this stuff for? Like I said, you can use it for your desk and that kind of thing. One of the problems I have been having, so let's get on to this. Now, when I say somebody's making some badass stuff, I say that from the heart, all right? Because it's all about being from the heart. That doesn't mean that every single product that somebody puts out is the coolest in the world and will do the absolute best job, all right? That's not really quite the case. Everybody makes stuff, and not everybody's stuff is stuff that you're like, oh, wow, I really like that. That's so cool. There's a few things that I'm not as huge of a fan of. I bought these little side holders for these. This particular side holder's got that, like the little 6 pockets in it. It's pretty cool. And the one that I have on the other end is for holding the plugs, the plug followers. And again, very cool. I like it. It's neat. But they're just something that it's too difficult to get to. One of my biggest issues that I have is I have a bunch of turning tools. I mean, I got Bare Bones. I've got I got Mokis. I got good Lord, I got turning tools from all over the place. I got some Jimmy Longs. I got some covert instruments. I got a whole ton of covert instruments. Good Lord, I got way too many covert instruments, turning tools. I've got a ton of turning tools. I've got, like I said, bare bones. I got a whole ton of stuff. This was one of the things that he makes, all right? And this is kind of cool. It's got some cool stuff. And, yeah, I can put some of my turning tools in here. I forget which brands these are. These were... Oh, I got some covert instruments in here. I got a bunch of things in here. But it's very... What's the word I'm looking for? Not so space saving. It's just... It's clumsy. It's kind of cluttery. Unfortunately, these holes here weren't big enough to... Here, let me zoom this in so you can see this a little bit better. But, you know, these holes here weren't big enough to hold all the different types of models. And, of course, you know, everybody's got double-sided turning tools. So because of the double-sided turning tools, they don't fit in here. So you got to modify things, blah, 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 blah. And the holes really weren't big enough to be functional. So it lost some functionality to it, and I wasn't as big of a fan. So I went looking back on 3DLocksport's site, and I just happened across his small tool holder. All right, so I'm going to zoom back out here. But the small tool holder is literally half the size of the large one. All right, it's small. It's not big at all. It will actually, if you use the small plug thing, you can actually tie these two together. All right, I can push that down and lock it in, but they'll tie together and whatnot. But I want to keep these free because, and I ordered some more of these, but here's what I ordered them for. So I can take specific groups of turning tools and place them in here and have a specialized turning tool keeper, so I can have a little bit better organization on my turning tools. And I really kind of like this. I was like, hey, that's really not a bad idea. I mean, these Mokies are, I'm not gonna lie, these things are a pain in the ass to keep. You know, they're tall, they're you know, this dual-sided shape, so you can't stick them in anything because you got one side hook. So, hey, here's what you do. You stick them in the hole, and you put them in the hole like such. Now you've got turning tool keeper. So, you know, same thing with I got my bare bones picks, or turning tools, not picks, my turning tools. Look, you can put your bare bones stuff in here. You can put your different types of bare bones in here. Look, I've got a stand for my turning tools. All of my double-sided turning tools. Badass. So, again, dude, you knocked it out of the park with this thing. I actually ordered like 5 more of these things. You know, for the future. I wanted to get some more. So, you know, oops, nope, that went on the floor. So, these are the little itty bitty ones. I got to do something with these. I really don't I love bare bones, but these I really don't understand. I just don't have hands that small. But that being said, you know, I finally got something now that can hold turning tools, and I'm going to have a couple more, and I'll be able to put all my turning tools in here. I'll have them organized, and I'll be able to keep my turning tools, in addition to having my picks. You know, you get your holder for your picks, and you get your holder for your turning tools. I mean, how cool is that? So, you know, dude, you knocked it out of the park. You know, when he said he's going out of business, I was like, oh man, I got to do me some ordering. So I did. I sucked it up, and I did some ordering. So, you know, I got a bunch more of these stands coming. I also went ahead and got me a universal lock holder, and a couple more inserts for that, and, you know, a couple other toys. One of the other things that I got, now, I am going to put this on this video because I think this is absolutely important. I am hoping to God that Covert Instruments is paying attention to this. If not, I will definitely be reaching out to them. But if they ever get rid of these, I'm going to be pissed. This is just brilliance. absolutely freaking brilliance. So, Tony, you knocked it out of the park with this thing. And I know you got this from somebody else and you decided to manufacture and all that. I saw your thing on it. But this is just absolutely cool. So, you know, I just got it. This is actually going to work with me just for, you know, the shits and giggles of it all. Because I do like to screw around with my boss, and we do have, you know, a lot of fun, that kind of stuff. And we've got toys in the office, all right? So, oh, good Lord, I can't get this thing open. See, when I say I got bad hands, I really am not joking. I got bad hands. There we go. Oh, I used to be able to tear things apart. I could tear steel with these things. And now, welcome to the fun and wonderful world of arthritis. Isn't that a blast? So, this, however, is just cool as hell. And, of course, I'm dropping stuff all over the floor. Oh, good Lord, I'm a mess. So, there we go. All right, so with all that being said, though, cool stuff. Lots of exciting stuff, and I can't wait to play with this. This just looks like, oh my goodness, that's so cool. I mean, check this out. You can actually, you just push it up, and it acts just like a lock. So you can actually demonstrate a lock. Freaking awesome, man. So, you know, I'm not going to go through all this stuff. You guys have seen this all before. I'm sure if you've seen the videos, you know, there's other people that's done reviews on this stuff and that kind of thing. But, you know, I'm hoping Covert Instruments keeps this tradition going, because this is absolutely critically important. It really and truly is. All right, kids. Well, I've already wasted 20 some odd minutes of your time, and that was my whole thing today, was just going over this whole 3DLocksport thing. I'm actually, like I said, just like everybody else, I was kind of like, oh man, that really sucks that you're not going to be making this. But then at the same time, to know that Covert Instruments has bought it, and Covert Instruments has interest and value in it, yeah, that's going to be rocking. I can't wait to see what they do. So yeah, my eyes are definitely on Covert Instruments all the way around the board. And 3DLocksport, man, thank you so very much, Tony, for all that you've made for us so far. And I hope in the future that you guys do well. I don't know you personally. I've never met you. I've bought your products, and I've seen your videos. You seem like a really nice dude, cool cat, whatever you want to say. You look like good people to me. So all that being said, thank you very much, sir. And you guys have a good time. I can't wait for the future. All right, I'm Uncle Snaff. I am getting out of here, and that's more toys to play with. Go find some toys. Let's play. All right, kids. See ya. Have a good night. Rock on.